And we are live.
We are live. Let me see. Okay, so my screen still says waiting,
It might
but
take a second
that,
for us to get up
yeah,
there.
it could take a couple of seconds. Um, what is this? Oh, that's that. Uh, Here we go. Whoops. There we go. Now I see something.
Oh, we're there.
All
Oh,
right.
it's happening.
Oh, I see it.
Oh, it's
Oh, it's
on.
up there. All right. Okay.
All right. Shall we start our record?
Yes. So, sorry, I have so many tabs.
Nora's going to join us
Okay.
today.
So, hi, Nora. Right. So I hit record on Audacity.
So did I.
There we go. All right. So we can start a countdown if you
Yes,
want.
indeed. Counting down in three,
Countdown in three,
two,
two,
one.
one. I'm so ahead of you. Intro
Wait,
music.
that's not it.
What? He's no good to me, Dad.
Intro music. Intro music.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Just as complicated as ever. Rob, how are you, my friend?
I am wonderful. And you, I got my second shot.
Yeah, that's right. We're
So
both
I am-
double immunized here at Banter Beskar and
sure are.
BanthaMilk. We got our shots of BanthaMilk vaccine, so we're feeling pretty good about it. What did you get? Did you get Pfizer or Moderna?
I got Pfizer.
So did I.
Which
Pfizer
is good.
bros. Rock on.
That's right. Rock on. And which is fine for me because I have Pfizer stock. So
Wow.
I was like, bring it on. The more shots I get, the more my stock goes up.
Seems
So
a
I'm
little
going back next
self-serving,
week.
Rob. Seems a little
Yeah, I got-
self-serving to me.
I got 2 shots already, but I'm going to go back next week and get another round of it just so that my stocks go up a little bit higher.
Yeah, man.
Because
Just keep
all
on
about
going
me.
back. I hear that's okay. You're allowed to just keep going. It just adds to the immunity.
to the immunity. Yeah,
That's
that
right.
or my other goal is to get all 3 shots. I want to get the what is it,
Okay,
Moderna?
so you got to go to Moderna, BioNTech, and then you got to get
Yeah.
the Johnson and Johnson. You only have three more shots to get, then, right? The 2 for the
I know.
BioNTech and the 1
Yeah.
for J and J.
I have to
boy.
do like those. I have to do like those 2 women did in Florida, where they dressed up like old ladies to try and get their shots
Is that a
early.
thing that happened?
So, yeah, and they got totally busted
Oh my
because their
God.
driver's license said that they were 40, but they were in line with the 65-year-olds, and they had really bad makeup on, making them
You know what?
trying to make them pass for
You got to
65.
respect the effort. You got to respect the effort.
It's the effort, exactly.
Oh boy,
So,
but we're here for another. This is Banter Beskar and BanthaMilk, right? We are a Mandalorian.
this is
podcast.
not. Yeah, this is not a COVID podcast.
No, it
this
is
is
not, but-
all about Star Wars.
Yes, indeed, and we are back yet again. Glad to see you again. Hopefully, you caught us last week. We had a really exciting show last week. We got to interview Ryan Airy of Screen Crush. Talked a lot about Return of the Jedi and other Star Wars related topics. If you have not seen that, make sure you check it out. We're going to talk a whole bunch of stuff today, but first, me and my buddy Gerald. This is Gerald, everyone.
Oh, Gerald, you named the stormtrooper Gerald,
Gerald
and
the
he is
Stormtrooper.
very full.
Yep,
He is.
he's going to be a little less full right now. I'm going to go ahead and pour myself a little Bantha milk because why not? Rob, do you have any
Why
Bantha
not?
milk with you today?
I do. I don't even know what it is or where it's from, but I'm going to try and find out. The font is very small on it. This is
Okay.
what I got here. It's called Sweet Action
Okay.
from 6 Points Brewery. It's in Brooklyn, New York. It is I don't know, year rounded. I don't know what type of what flavor this is because it doesn't really say. It just says that it's Sweet Action. So
Sweet action.
I'm gonna.
Rob's going to have a little bit of that sweet action. Let's hear that sweet action.
There was a
Oh,
little
nice.
pop of the cap there.
All right, to you, my friend L'chaim.
L'chaim, I think it's an IPA.
You know, it looks like it's an IPA. How's it taste?
On the back, it says it's a New York City Pale Ale. So there we go.
Definitely not an IPA.
Not an IPA. So it's like IPA light. Pale ales are the scaled down version of an IPA. They still have a little bit of hop to them, but not nearly as much as an IPA does. It's very good.
I
Cheers.
like it. Cheers. And I like your kind of like stick figure-esque Mandalorian shirt too, by the way. That's
Yeah, you
that's
like
a new
that?
one I
It
hadn't
says-
seen.
It says this is the way. And
It is the way.
It looks like my daughter drew it. I told her she got it for me for Christmas, and I said, "This looks like you drew it."
And
she
did she?
goes, She did not.
She could have totally taken credit for that.
She could have. She
Towards your daughter
should have
points.
too. Yeah, she would have been like, "I totally drew that, Dad,"
Wow.
and I would have been like, "That's awesome."
You would have gone around telling everyone, "My daughter drew this," and then you'd see someone else wearing that shirt.
And then I'd be really embarrassed. I'd be like, "My daughter drew a shirt for you too."
Oh man,
like, what's going on here?
Oh boy, well we do like talking to y'all about Star Wars. We like coming at you from all sides with Star Wars, and we're all over social media, right? So why don't we talk a little bit about where our millions and millions of listeners can talk to us more, Rob?
You know, Nick, I think you should tell us where all of the listeners can listen to us.
Fine. Hey, if you're interested in more Star Wars info, want to chat, or even want to send us some Star Wars drink recipes, please be sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms. You can catch us on Instagram and Facebook at BanthaMilk Podcast, Twitter at BanthaMilk. You can email us at banthamilkpodcast@gmail.com, or even check out our website, banthamilkpodcast.com.
And don't forget to check out our sister podcast over at the Ears Up Network. Our friends over at Ears Up help us a whole lot. So give them and their many shows a listen. Their shows include Ears Up in Depth, The Supreme Resort, and Scraping the Vault. Also be sure to check out their Patreon at patreon.com/ears with a Z up. For as little as $2 a month, you can help support our show. Any donations sent their way directly help us here at BanthaMilk Podcast and comes with great perks. So please check them out today.
Yeah, so check out all of us on social media, but you also got to check out our YouTube. It's not mentioned in there, and we are streaming currently live on our YouTube. The last couple of shows, we took over our buddies over at Ears Up's page, but we're on home beast now, right?
We sure are.
Yeah, enjoying it.
So check us out right now on our
if you're listening to us on Spotify or Stitcher, go to YouTube and check out our lives.
How's that going to work?
Jump in the DeLorean, kick it to 88, and go watch our live stream.
Back in time.
We
do have W Power 12 is in the chat right now.
Oh, so it's our boy W Power 12, and he says, "Thanks, I hate it. We hate you too, buddy." Oh, that's our buddy Bill.
That's our buddy Bill. That's right.
Bill plays all the nerd games with us. Bill is one of the folks who played with Rob and I, but Rob is one of the last people standing still on Star Wars Galaxies. You still playing Star Wars Galaxies, Rob?
100%. As a matter of fact, I'm harvesting some minerals right now as we speak.
Literally right now.
Right now. Yep, I'm AFKing as we speak. That's computer gamer talk for doing it while I'm not there.
That's right.
Yes.
Away from keyboard. Well,
we're
happy to have you in our live chat, Bill, even if you're there just to torment us.
That's right.
We want to see lots more, so please make sure you share us. Now, speaking of social meds, the social meds, as we like to call it here on BanthaMilk Podcast, we do have a new way of getting in touch with you all as of the past couple of months here that has been pretty fun and successful. We have a new Facebook group that allows Rob and I to chat directly with you, the fans.
Yes.
And also lets y'all, go ahead and post all the Star Wars news and memes and silliness that you might like, right? So please go check us out on Facebook.com/groups/Sacred Jedi Texts. Sacred Jedi Texts is our Facebook group. And if you go there, you're going to be able to vote on a very exciting thing that I guess I shouldn't talk about because I might step on trademark agreements, right? Rob had to talk to me very specifically about not saying specific words in regards to this particular crazy event happening in the month of March, Rob.
Yes, we're calling it Bracket Madness.
Bracket Madness, I love it.
Happening
in the month of March.
Yes, that just so happens in the month of March.
There's
some Bracket Madness going on. So there's some other. I'm getting a text message that says I have a little bit of weird reverb on my mic. Do you hear any weird reverb?
I think you sound beautiful.
It sounds like Darth Vader a bit. He says.
Who said that?
Avengers Hockey.
Man, he's one of our long times.
He sure is. So he's texting me saying that I have a little Darth Vader sound.
Well, maybe we're going for that. It's a Star Wars podcast.
It is.
Come on, you folks.
It is. So who knows? All right. Well,
so our bracket.
Bracket
Madness.
If I sound like Darth Vader tonight, it's even better. So we're doing Bracket Madness. So yes, we are. So we're going to post links all over the place. We're going to post it on Sacred Jedi Text. There will be a link in there. We're going to post it on our Facebook page, Banter, Beskar, and BanthaMilk, which is the BanthaMilk. I think you can just type in BanthaMilk, right?
Facebook.com/BanthaMilk podcast.
Yep. There you go. BanthaMilk podcast. So type that in. It's going to be on there as well. So this completely original idea of mine was to have 64 characters, and we Nick and I ranked them as best as we could from 1 to 64. What we thought was going to be the strongest fan favorite character all the way down to the weakest fan favorite character. After we
there are some pretty weak ones in there. I will say there are some strong ones. And we kind of went back and forth on how to title this, right? Because you don't want to say most powerful Star Wars character, because then it's like it's really it's going to be whatever but like so we wound up on fan favorite, right? And there are some really great Star Wars characters, but then there are those ones where they were in the corner of the screen for it's a Star Wars world, right? So we're relying on you now.
That's right.
It's your call.
So we came up with 64 characters, just because it seemed like a nice, well-rounded number. And of those 64 characters, we broke them up into 4 regions, because this is just something that we came up with, was breaking it down into 4 different regions. We have the Jakku region. We have the Tatooine region, the Naboo region, and last but not least, the Coruscant region. Okay, so they're the 4 different regions. And like we said, we had the players ranked 1 through 64, and then we matched them up with the number 1 player going against, in the first round, number 1 player going against the number 64 player, and 2 to 63, and 3 to 62, and we can figure all that out.
So on and so forth.
And so on and so on. So let's just, real fast, for those of you listening for the first time, or those of you who haven't gotten into rank them yet, or vote on the matchups, I should say, we'll run through a couple of the characters for you. And there's a couple of matchups already that are very heated matchups. Could be what we would consider an upset matchup.
Oh boy, okay? I'm ready for it.
So our top 10, and this is what Nick and I came up with. This could be debated, but this is the great part about it. Even if you don't think this person should be in the top 10, or maybe they're too high, too low, whatever the case is, by voting and by ranking on who you think would win in a matchup, could take a number 50 player and get it to the second or to the third round. There's upsets all the time. So with this upset, who knows? All right. So number 1, we ranked Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty standard bet there. I think he is a heavy favorite to win.
Yes.
In just about any head-to-head matchup, whether that be most powerful Star Wars character or fan favorite, right?
Or fan favorite, yeah.
I think that's
number two was Palpatine, because, without him, the Star Wars universe would look drastically different. Because
equal light, equal dark.
Both sides, yes. He played both sides of the battle the entire time through all 9.
Yeah, they talk about, the great chess masters playing, they've run out of challenges, so they play chess against themselves, and that's essentially what our boy Sheev did, right? He said, "I'm bored. Everyone else is dumber than me. I'm just gonna fight myself.
I'm gonna start this giant battle amongst myself,
and I'm gonna see which one of me wins."
Yeah, and I really don't care which one either. It's fine. One of me will win.
Either way, I win.
Number 3, we have Darth Vader. Huge.
The chosen one.
The chosen one. Yeah. Darth Vader / Anakin.
Now, I wonder how much the age of the people who vote are going to skew this, because when I think of Star Wars, I came up in Star Wars in an interesting time, because I was around, obviously for the original Star Wars, but the prequels came out when I was still relatively young. Right. And so I would imagine I have a different view on the trilogy than someone like you, Rob, who you're maybe 10 years older than me or so. So you were around for a longer time without it. Right. So for me, I really connect with Anakin's journey, but I feel like a lot of fans who are older than me connect with Luke's journey.
True. Yes.
Right? So that could be an interesting one to kind of debate who's going to win. If it comes down to a Luke versus Vader at the end, that could be tough.
It could be very tough. And also, a lot of people always just rooted for the good guy. So Darth was the bad guy, so you rooted against him.
Right.
So when you're growing up, Anakin was still the good guy. So you got to root for him as the good guy, where I was rooting against him as the bad guy. Then there's other people who always root for the bad guy. So it's a different take. But yeah, so that definitely will be interesting.
But that also depends on how all our listeners are going to interpret what does it mean to be a fan favorite. Right?
Exactly.
Because are we rooting for our favorite all the time? Not really, right? Like a great character, like you think about like a great character like Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. You don't really root for that guy, but that's a great character, right? So
right, yeah, he was a great character.
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, so then 4 and 5 are the married couple. Leia was in 4 and Han was in 5.
Instant Calm on YouTube is saying, hee, Rob is old.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you,
yes,
Instant Calm. I was trying to be a little more tactful than that, my friend.
He was, yes. This is why, Instant Calm, this is why I'm wearing a hat so that you can't see. When I was a young whippersnapper, I had beautiful golden locks.
He did. I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah, and now
very.
So yes, thank you,
poofy.
Instant Calm, for pointing out that I am old.
Oh boy.
So Leia and Han were 4 and 5. Yoda was 6. Now Yoda could have been ranked higher by us as well, but once again, it's not really our ranking, the initial 64. It's what you guys pick in the matchups as we go along. And then Kylo Ren, 7, Ahsoka, 8, Obi-Wan, 9, and Maul would be 10. Now, we definitely moved Maul up after we saw him in Rebels and Clone Wars, and we've talked about Maul in depth in numerous episodes about if you've only seen the movies, you think
Tip
Maul
of the iceberg.
Yeah, he was cool with a lightsaber, but he was just whatever. But once you see him in other genres, even in the comic books or books, like the Darth Sidious book,
right?
You learn about
book, yeah.
The Plagueis book. You learn about the birth of Maul and how he was raised by Plagueis and Palpatine and stuff like that.
Well, the crazy thing to me when reading that book is like, because it was crazy for me when Clone Wars was happening, and the last episode of Clone Wars, how it happened concurrently with Revenge of the Sith, and I thought, oh man, that's so crazy to think all this is happening at the same time. When I read the Darth Plagueis book, I never realized, and they probably didn't mean for it to happen, but they made it so much more interesting. Sidious only Palpatine, I should say, only killed Darth Plagueis like the night he became Supreme Chancellor. So like all through episode 1, somewhere out there is the Emperor's, or I should say, Sidious's master still. Yes. And throughout Attack of the Clones as well, because because he gets voted as Supreme Chancellor at the end of episode 1, at the end of Phantom Menace. So all through that movie, Darth Plagueis is out there. His real name is Higo Damask, by the way, his name to the universe. And just kind of doing his thing. And it isn't until the end of that movie that he even kills him. So it is really cool how they kind of peel away these layers and we get to see stuff going on. And you're right, we do get to see kind of the training of Maul and how they made him. And we get to see a little more of the Maul psychology in Clone Wars. We meet his brother. They made him so cool. That's a real redemption story for him. And again, Ray Park. I don't know what's going on with Ray Park, but his Instagram is blowing up with Darth Maul stuff recently.
Yes. So that'll be really
He's been using the hashtag Siths Rule a whole lot recently. He's been posting videos of himself training. He's been posting Star Warsing. So maybe we're going to see him soon. Here's hoping.
Well, if they can bring back Timo Morrison as Boba Fett again, and it's been 30 years since we saw him as Boba Fett, so might as well bring back Maul and have him in something else as well, which would be really awesome.
That's right.
And really cool fanfare as well to have the original Maul character coming back again or playing again. So that'd be pretty cool.
Sure.
So, I mean, we're not going to go through all 64
Now,
of these.
can you give us just a couple at the bottom of our bracket? Who do we have sitting down below at the bottom of our bracket?
So we'll go starting with 58 because this is one of my favorite characters just because he had such a small part, but yet he's such a fan favorite from the original trilogy. Is Jack Porkins?
That's right.
Is number 58. So if you don't know him, he's one of the pilots, one of the X-Wing pilots when they were attacking the original Death Star.
That's right. He unfortunately perished over the original Death Star, right?
Yeah, so he had a great 2 or 3 lines. I think one of his lines in the movie was "ah,"
yep.
And then that was it. So
and his most famous sort of contribution to the Star Wars universe was just kind of being chubby. So like,
and because he was chubby, they named him Porkins.
Yep.
So they made a fat joke out of it, and which we couldn't do today.
No,
but in '76 it was okay to do that. 59 is my favorite. Momau Nando.
Momau Nadon.
Some of you may know as Hammerhead.
Hammerhead, that's right.
And we'll talk a little bit more about Hammerhead later, but Hammerhead from the Cantina in the original, in episode 4.
Yes, indeed.
Max Rebo, which is one of Nick's favorite characters of all time.
Star Wars musicians, gotta love them.
Yeah, gotta give respect to the Star Wars musicians. Kira, is that how you say it?
Kira. Oh yeah. From Solo,
was,
Star Wars story, Han's buddy from childhood.
Yep, his ex-girlfriend who moved on to bigger and better things.
I would say so.
Red, what was the
Dryden Voss?
Dryden Voss's clan, not clan.
Oh,
but,
the Sun, Black Sun, or is
Black
it
Sun,
not
yes.
Black Sun? Is
Red
it Black Sun?
Red Sun? I think it's Red Sun. Red. I know it was Red because I just watched it. It was on TBS yesterday. Red or black, but anyway, you'll figure it out.
Yep.
Bail Organa.
There it is.
Organa. Yeah, Bail Organa.
Crimson Dawn. Crimson is red.
Dawn. Yeah, it was red.
Crimson is red.
I knew it. He was in Solo. Yes. Avengers Hockey is now chiming in, helping us out. Yes, he was in Solo.
I think Avengers Hockey is were you talking about Porkins is in Solo? Because I saw that a little earlier out there. I didn't remember seeing Porkins in Solo. If you remember seeing Porkins in Solo, let me know, Avengers Hockey, because that would be
that'd be awesome if he was in Solo. Also, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it again.
Yes, indeed.
And then my number 64, and this is because Nick likes these better than Ewoks, but I dropped them all the way down. Is Porgs
Rob's
our number
petty
64.
revenge?
That's right. Because of our ranking system from many moons ago of our drinks. Nick ranked the Porgs above Ewoks, so I got revenge on this by ranking Ewoks number 64. Wicket W. Warwick, which is not the lead Ewok, but the friendliest Ewok to Princess Leia.
Sure.
He is number 52.
Okay.
So he eats Porgs.
Well, there are no named Porgs, right? So how do you compete? If we get a named Porg coming up in one of these movies, I mean, Wicket is gone. He's done for good.
Right. If there's a Porg that just follows somebody all over the place, it's like their pet, and his name like Sparky or something like that.
Sparky the Porg, I love it.
Sparky the Porg. Then suddenly he's like number 30.
Yep, that's right. Straight up.
Straight up, he just goes to the top.
That's the wild card. Is there a wild card in
There is
a
a
bracket?
wild
I don't know. I watch baseball sometimes.
Yeah, there's no wild card. There's just so with that being said, oh wait, let me see. I'm trying to find our. Oh, where did it go?
I don't know, man.
Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, here we go.
Oh, Ray Park was in Solo, says Avengers Hockey. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Trying to think of what maybe he had like a bit role. Did he? Maybe, I don't know. They must have given. I mean, they do like giving Star Wars actors roles and everything. You know, Mark Hamill had roles in a bunch of different Star Wars stuff, so it wouldn't surprise me. But anyway, as Rob is trying, I don't know what Rob's trying to find over there.
I was trying to show like early results from people who have
some preliminary results from the voting. Yeah,
results,
I got to tell you, it has been a nail biter on some of them.
Yes.
So I have been looking at the results come in, and like there are a few of them Like, I think there was the one with Rose Tico is like 100% to 0 right now. Like, no one has voted for Rose.
There's some that are totally against Rose, which I feel bad because I really liked Rose.
Yeah. But I think there was, I'm trying to think, you know what? Maybe it was the Count Dooku pairing. It was you know what? I think it was Count Dooku versus Moff Gideon. And I was surprised. Okay. It was very close. It was a very close matchup, right? So,
and also, BB-8 was ranked 22 and IG-11 was ranked 43. But early on, IG-11 is winning over BB-8, which is that could be an upset right there.
I mean, it might be an upset, I think, in that IG-11 is from The Mandalorian and not maybe the mainstream movies. But I think he's a better droid, so he should win.
Okay.
Oh, duh. Avengers Hockey. He was Maul. Of course he was Maul. Yes, at the end of Solo. Sorry, you're 100% right. He was at the end of Solo, right? He had his cameo appearance. And then the voice actor from Clone Wars did the voice for him, right? So they brought back the voice actor to do the voice, and they did have Ray Park at the end there. But again, he has been recently doing more and more on Instagram with that Maul character. So I'm assuming we're going to see some more of him coming up soon.
There we go. I think this could be Supreme Leader Snoke versus Ezra Bridgers, which is a very close 46-53 matchup.
I think that would have been less close if they had made Snoke more.
Yes.
But because Snoke just wound up being like a meat puppet.
Yeah.
It just seems like people are just like kind of meh about him. And it's true. I look at Snoke as kind of a wasted opportunity. Like, I was really excited about learning more about Snoke. I remember when Snoke was coming out, there was all this talk about, before the Empire fell, Palpatine heard this calling from the outer reaches, the unexplored territories outside the galaxy. And it was like rumored, it was Snoke that was calling to him, and Snoke had seen the rise and fall of the Empire, and we thought Snoke was going to be this man in the background, but he was just a meat puppet. So
he was just a meat puppet. He was just a body double. Your Moff Gideon one, it was K2SO versus Moff Gideon.
K2SO. All right.
Yes.
Okay. See, K2, I liked K2. That is a tough one because Moff Gideon was also great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I voted for Moff Gideon on that one.
Yeah, and it's very close. It's a 54-46 right now as well.
Right.
So it is very, very close.
Well, if you're hearing any of these numbers right now and you're like, hey, that's wrong, you can get out there and vote.
Yeah, that's right. So this bracket, the bracket that we're going to post, we posted the Tatooine round a couple of days ago. But now we're going to post, it's going to start with the Naboo round, but when you finish each round, it's going to take you into the next round. There's going to be a hyperlink to click onto the next round and go through all 4 of them. So we're going to post that tonight. So for those of you who are live in the chat with us, you can check it out tonight. For those of you who are listening on the podcast, by the time you listen to this, it will be live on all of our many social medias for you to check out. Right. So please check it out and vote as well. So this is a fun time. This is the first round. We're going to have this running for a couple more days. Then we're going to go into the second round all the way through until we have a final head-to-head battle and see who is the ultimate fan favorite of Star Wars during the month of March.
By the end of March, we will know the winner, and it is absolutely mad. I'm really mad about it.
Madness.
I am
so madness.
Upset.
Yeah.
Anyway. Speaking of our pet projects, right? That was one of our pet projects. We have another pet project we have going on our YouTube channel that some of you might have seen, might have checked out. We have our series of spotlight dances, right? We've got a good couple videos now on our YouTube channel of spotlight dances. Rob, where'd you come up with this spotlight dance? Where did that come from? Spotlight dance.
So this is also going to date me. So Instant Calm can once again say how old I am.
That's right.
But there was a movie in the era of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and who directed all those?
John Hughes?
John Hughes. In the era of John Hughes films. Now, this was not a John Hughes film, but it was called Can't Buy Me Love, which was Patrick Dempsey's first movie. And in that, he does this dance in front of the entire school, and it's this very strange spotlight dance that he watched on TV and thought that he was watching American Bandstand when in fact he was not watching American Bandstand. So then everybody looked at him and was like, that's the most bizarre thing ever. But if he's doing it, then it's got to be cool. So then everybody started doing the same spotlight dance that he was doing. So that's where the name came from, because it was a fun little spotlight. And there we go. So our spotlight dance videos are all short videos, somewhere between 3 and 5, maybe 7 minutes tops, where we dive headstrong into one topic and give you, one thing, bunch of facts about one thing and stuff like that. So Nick did one which was very highly received, and I'm very jealous.
It's the beard, Rob. You got to grow the beard back.
It's got to be.
The beard brings in the viewers. That's right. So I did start a new series on the Spotlight Dance, right? I have one video in this series. I've got several more planned to come out. It is a series on tinfoil hat theories. Star Wars fans love tinfoil hat theories.
They sure do.
Why? Because they don't like Star Wars, right? They don't like Star Wars that much, so they want to have theories that are outside of the real world, because they want to say, no, but hear me out for a second. This is really how it goes, right?
This is how it goes. What you thought was real was wrong.
That's right.
This is how it really goes.
So our first video and entry into our Spotlight Dance series on tinfoil hat theories was the Darth Jar Jar theory.
Darth Jar Jar.
And I hope that you've all heard this theory. It is one of my favorite tinfoil hat theories out there in the Star Wars world. This theory relegates Jar Jar Binks to the title of Sith Lord, right? And it figures that all of the woes and all of the chaos and all of the agony caused in the galaxy was by design, and it was by design of a Sith Gungan master named Darth Binks. What do you think about that, Rob? You buy it?
I buy it 100%.
I mean, it's the only thing that makes sense.
It's got to make sense. I mean, Palpatine, Jar Jar Binks, he's the mastermind. I mean, look at him. He's the one that went to the Senate, and he got all these votes to turn for him. He got Palpatine announced as Supreme Chancellor.
That's right.
And gave him ultimate powers in the entire galaxy. He got everybody to do this. And other than a Sith, who could brainwash an entire galaxy the way Jar Jar did? So I agree with you 100%. I don't see anything wrong with it. Jar Jar is way underused. They should have used him a lot more.
Honest to goodness, as ridiculous and crazy as it sounds, if they had revealed that Snoke was actually Darth Jar Jar, like that Jar Jar had befallen some sort of terrible accident, his face was horribly disfigured. He went into the Outer Rim reaches to get away and stewed in his anger, and he became Supreme Leader Snoke. That would have been probably the best possible timeline for Star Wars.
Just as realistic as Darth Jar Jar as a whole. So yes.
So I'm a little bummed it didn't go that way, but who knows? Right? There's still time for anything. So go check out. I'm not going to give away all my points here. I want you to go check us out on YouTube. But I do have a couple more planned. We have another one coming out within the next week here on another great. I don't know if you call it a tinfoil hat theory so much. I think I would. The theory is entitled aptly "Empire did nothing wrong." Right? The theory is Empire did nothing wrong. Right? There was a band of terrorists that attacked the galaxy and took it over by force, right? They destroyed a station with millions. We've all seen Clerks, right? We all know the argument. So in our next Spotlight Dance series, we will dive into the Empire did nothing wrong theory and talk about its merits and how this dangerous band of rebels has corrupted the minds of a galaxy.
They sure have. I mean, just think of stormtroopers versus rebels. I mean, there's theories out there that stormtroopers, the reason they can't kill anybody is because their guns are set to stun, because they're peacemakers.
They are.
They're just here to make peace. And it's those horrible rebels that are going around killing everybody. And so they're the bad guys, and the Empire is just there to make peace. They just want everybody to just live under one way of thinking. And if everybody agrees with them, everything will be fine. So I agree. The Empire did nothing wrong. I can see that as well.
Yeah. So
I don't know. These tinfoil hat theories make perfect sense to me.
Rob actually has his hat, his Mandalorian hat he's got on. It's lined with tinfoil on the inside.
There is tinfoil underneath.
He's got to keep the aliens from sucking out his brain.
That's right. I need some help. I'm trying to come up with my own tinfoil hat theory, which is how Luke Skywalker is a wuss. And
I would agree. We
like,
had a little problem with the last episode of The Mandalorian. It kind of went counter to that. But up until then, I think I might agree.
Right. But we could also turn that in a way where, he was all he was doing was just cutting down robots. Like they weren't people. Like if he would have cut down a person in that, he would probably start crying also. So it was just robots. They mean nothing to him. But yeah, I mean, I have 2 points so far. Like, I'm hoping maybe the fans can help us out and find more ways that we can prove that Luke Skywalker is a wuss, because there's two blatant ones. I mean, how many people do you know that kissed their sister the way he did? I mean, come on, it's a little strange there.
A little strange.
So if you can give me some more tinfoil hat theories on the demise of Luke Skywalker, why he's not the ultimate hero that everybody thinks he is, that would be great. Because
and maybe you can get it to us soon so that we can knock him down a peg for our bracket.
Right, from number one.
We're trying to get some spin out there, right?
That's right. Yep. So we have that. You did a great job with that. We also had recommended from a fan to do Species of the Week. And his suggestion was to start on Ithorians, which I did. So I made a whole thing about the Ithorians and what were named Hammerheads in the original Star Wars toys. When the toys first came out, Kenner didn't have a name for the guy in the background, so they just named him Hammerhead because he kind of looked like a hammerhead shark.
And then things got a little weird. Times changed. They had to change him to the Washington football fish. Right?
That's right.
It just seemed a little unsupportive to call him a hammerhead.
Unsupportive to sharks, yes. We're very offended by it. And then, so I have one coming up now, which because of the movie Solo and throughout Star Wars, we know all about our good friend Han. And he's a card player. He likes to gamble. And Lando Calrissian, we know all about him. They like to play. What's the name of the card game that they like to play? Dr. DeSalvio?
It's Sabacc.
It is Sabacc. So look, I have my very own.
I almost said, by the way,
Sabacc.
I almost said Pazak because there is a game in Knights of the Old Republic called Pazak.
Okay.
Which is different than Sabacc, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know
yes. Why. Maybe Pazak turned into Sabacc. I don't know. But anyway, go on.
I don't know. Anyway, so Sabacc, you can actually get your own Sabacc card game at your local Disney park. So you can go anywhere in the world.
That's
Hong
France
Kong,
or Hong Kong,
France,
or
Florida,
or California.
Florida or California. You can pick up your very own game of Sabacc. So I had Trey, my son, actually. His friend went down to Disney World a couple weeks ago, and he picked us up the Sabacc game. So Sabacc is fun. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but basically these two cards here, these are the 0 cards. You want these.
Oh.
You get these cards. These help you out a lot.
Right.
Sabacc is
like
a very...
poker?
It's like blackjack and poker, put them together, and then you have Sabacc because...
Plus dice.
And there are dice, which fall out of the box every single time. So, real fast, because I'm going to go into this in more detail in the Spotlight Dance, but real fast, in Blackjack, your goal is to get to 21. In Sabacc, your goal is to get to 0. So, you have all these cards. Green cards give you points. Red cards take away points. So, it goes from 1 to 10.
Rob, we got to maybe Thursday on our lunch break. You got to just bring this to my room. We'll just play some Sabacc.
And we'll just start playing some Sabacc, yeah. And then these are 0 cards, so these equal 0.
Right, and you want 0.
You want 0, so you want to get as close to 0 as you can. So that's where it's kind of like blackjack. But then it's also like poker, because in the directions, there are 21 different ways to get to 0.
Interesting.
So it is crazy math and crazy fun. So we're going to play a little game of Sabacc, not right now, but Nick and I will start to play some Sabacc. Maybe we'll become masters of Sabacc. And we can also, where is it? So the top like 5 games, they have names for when you win, what the level is.
Well, I know there's like full Sabacc, right? That's like the top
full
one.
Sabacc. Well, so the top one, I'm sorry, yes, is full Sabacc. That is, I need my glasses. This print is so small, and I'm so old.
Oh,
Thank
boy.
you for that
Instant calm. You called it, man.
for telling me how old I am. Pure Sabacc.
Pure Sabacc. Okay.
Pure Sabacc is this.
00.
And then 00. That's the best hand. And then full Sabacc is the hand that Lando Calrissian won when he took Han's ship, when Han put up the stuff.
The fake ship that didn't exist.
The fake ship that he didn't have.
Right.
When Calrissian had the little card coming out of here.
Up in his
so
pocket.
this is the card that he had, which gave him the full Sabacc. So before you and I play, I need to count, make sure there's all 60 cards in there, and make sure that you don't have anything up your sleeve here hiding the full Sabacc card in it. Yes. So I'm excited for that because I like playing cards. And then this is just a whole new card game, and it's a lot of fun. So we'll get more into that as well. So there's some things to look forward to.
Yes,
with
indeed. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube page, right? So make sure if you're checking us out on Spotify, if you're checking us out on Stitcher, Apple Play Music, Google Music, right? Check out our YouTube channel, right? We have a lot of our most recent shows are all up on there. I know you get to hear our dulcet tones, but maybe you want to see our pretty faces too. They're right here.
There you go.
Right,
right here.
All our viewers on YouTube just got a real treat, by the way.
They sure did.
With our shining faces.
Our shining faces. So we did, like you said, we interviewed Ryan Airy last time. He was an awesome interview. He's on Screen Crush. On the 25th, March. I was about to say May and March together. March 25th is our next podcast show. It's a pale ale. You would think that it was an IPA. I can't even say March anymore. On March 25th is going to be our next show, and we are interviewing somebody else. We're interviewing a guy named Johnny Jalopy. Johnny Jalopy. Now, he is not a Star Wars person. He's actually a artist who draws hot rods and all kinds of crazy hot rods. He's been on a TV show on Motor Trend that I watch all the time. It's really good. He designed these crazy looking cars, and then this other guy named Ian Roussel, who's a car builder, he actually builds these ridiculous looking hot rods, and then I guess they sell them or whatever. So we'll find out what they actually do with all the cars after Ian Roussel designs Johnny Jalopy's cars. But he is a huge Star Wars fan. In one of the shows, he was actually wearing a Star Wars shirt. So that's when I saw him wearing the Star Wars shirt. I was like, I need to contact that guy. So found him on Facebook, and he said he can't wait to come on and talk Star Wars with us. So it's going to be pretty exciting on March 25th to talk to a real-life artist and talk about Star Wars with some guy who designs hot rods and stuff like that.
Johnny Jalopy,
so
coming to a BanthaMilk podcast near you later on in the month.
That's right.
Go ahead, and you'll be able to check. We have an April 1st show coming out as well, where we're going to review a really excellent movie. So we do have a lot of stuff coming out. We have a little bit of
Star
news,
Wars movie.
A little bit of news to hit you with before we end our show. Not much, not a whole lot going on in the Star Wars world right now. But we did have just some stuff we wanted to chat about. Star Wars news. And if you're on our YouTube channel, you're getting to see me take my jacket off. It's getting real now. All right, folks.
He's showing off the gun now.
That's right. All right. So, first things first, again, not much going on. I do have one news article that I just want to talk about, which isn't really even news. And then I have one kind of overarching thing I'd like to talk about that is happening in the news. Not necessarily a Star Wars topic, but I think it does encroach into Star Wars. So first of all, it was announced by the publishers. Hold on, excuse me. Now you just got a glimpse into my computer there. Anyway, there was a tweet by DK Books saying that due to the ever-expanding world of The Mandalorian, we will no longer be publishing The Mandalorian Ultimate Visual Guide at this time, as the story continues to unfold on screen. Moments later, they tweeted, due to the ever-expanding world of The Mandalorian, we will no longer be publishing The Mandalorian original novel at this time as the story continues to unfold on screen. Right? So those are just two tweets that came out today. And some of the Star Wars novels are hit or miss, but I am a huge fan of the visual dictionaries, the visual encyclopedias they put out.
Yes.
They kind of go through it at painstaking detail, all the ridiculous stuff in every movie. So it would have been nice to get my hands on a Mandalorian visual dictionary, but I can see how it would be difficult to release something like that with something evolving like that.
They would have to almost make it like an encyclopedia series.
Yeah.
Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, yeah.
And they might have to release some revisions if things change, so I get it.
Yeah. So if George Lucas gets his hands in on there, he might change Grogu altogether to be purple or something like that.
God forbid. God forbid.
Yeah.
Right?
God forbid.
But that's the bulk of the news we have. I did want to chat just a little bit about something that's been happening.
I have a couple of things for you if you want.
Go
real
ahead.
Fast.
Yeah, go ahead. Because I want to end with this because it's an interesting chat topic.
Okay. So the first one, I hate that. I don't even want to say it, but
let me guess.
And we can shoot it down real quickly. The article is Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra Brigger Star Wars show rumored for Disney Plus. So they're saying that there may be another Star Wars show with Ezra and Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now here's the thing that I don't like about this. How many months ago was it? 2 months ago, maybe right before the end of The Mandalorian, Disney came out and announced 14 new Star Wars movies / shows / whatever. And now all these people are making other rumored shows that are going to be coming out.
Yep. Yeah, I have a hard time with the rumor thing. And Rob and I talked about this a little earlier about this too, that there are a lot of Star Wars shows that jump on rumors because they get clicks, they get views. Mm-hmm. People want to see that. Like I saw a rumor earlier today that there's a Luke Skywalker Disney Plus show being spearheaded. No, there isn't. There isn't.
It's just like the other rumor sites where it's like Mandalorian season 3 release date revealed, and then you watch or you read through 17 paragraphs and 91 ads only for them to say it's going to come out sometime in 2022.
Yep.
Which is what we knew already.
Yep.
So it's like, I hate these stupid rumor sites, but like that one, I'm like, come on, really? Like, we already know Thrawn's going to, we're assuming Thrawn's going to be in the Ahsoka one because they made such a big deal about finding him.
Right.
So now you're saying that there's going to be another one with him in it also? Like, come on, it's annoying.
Yeah.
This is much better news. And this is really, really important out there. There are 4 new plush Grogu dolls.
Would you believe I don't have a single Grogu doll?
From Shop Disney.
As you have yours just creeping behind you there?
There's one creeping. He's looking over my shoulder the whole time, just staring into your soul. So there's 4 new plush ones. The one that I have has the like rubber head that looks very realistic. These are more like almost like a Build-A-Bear style looking plush. But the 4 of them, they're doing 4 different things, which is pretty cute. One of them has the cup where he's eating the squid.
Sure.
The tent coming out. Another one, he's holding a little frog, which looks like he's about to try and eat the frog. A lot of these have him eating. 3 of them are about him eating. So
he does that a lot.
Eats a lot. He does that a lot. The third one is him just in a Zen pose, him doing his
meditation, his
channeling his meditation pose. Yeah. And then the 4th one is him drinking the cup, drinking from the cup when he sees Cara Dune and Din Djarin fighting, and he's just standing there and he just goes. So they're pretty cute. So that's fun. And then my last story for you, which is pretty funny. Daisy Ridley, you may know her as Rey, but she has a new movie out, which is apparently getting great reviews as well. So go check out her new movie. She's mad. She's mad at Grogu. She says Baby Yoda is cheating with his Force healing.
Interesting.
She thinks he's cheating. I feel like Baby Yoda had an easier time being a Force healer, she says, because he's so darn cute. Here's the thing. Baby Yoda is immensely powerful, but also Baby Yoda is almost cheating because he's so sweet that whatever Baby Yoda did, you're like, "Aw," Daisy told Fandom. She told Fandom, the website Fandom. Whereas I'm a human, so I don't have that. So I feel like Baby Yoda has had an easier time being a Force healer because it's Baby Yoda being a Force healer. We're both good in that space, but he definitely has cuteness on me. So there she goes. She's throwing some hate out there on Baby Yoda.
I mean, Daisy Ridley's pretty cute too. I mean, let's be real here. She's a cutie.
She's a cutie.
But yeah, I mean, no, it's really hard to hold a candle to Grogu. I mean, it's Grogu.
It's Grogu.
It's
Grogu.
I mean, this little green weird thing took the world by storm last year. Can you imagine how the Mandalorian would have done without Grogu?
It would have been good, but it definitely wouldn't have been.
I think it would have still done well, but I don't think it would have had the widespread appeal that it has now. And as we know, that's all done through merchandising, which is just Star Wars' bread and butter.
Because how many people love Grogu, but didn't even see Mandalorian?
Oh, my dad, when he started watching The Mandalorian, which was very late, by the way, and my sister, same thing. My sister did the same thing. I just get a text randomly that says, "Oh, that's where Baby Yoda's from." They're just literally, they like talk to me. "Hey, can I have your Disney Plus account? I want to watch the show everyone's talking about." And they like a year later start watching, like, "Oh, that's what it's from."
Oh, there's that Baby Yoda that everybody has to have.
Yep.
That's what he's from.
Yep.
That's
so it is,
funny.
and it is funny because my sister, she's got 2 kids. She's a very busy woman. She could not care any less about Star Wars. But she was texting me,
my brother,
very, very concerned about little baby Grogu. She's like, "They're not going to hurt him, are they?" So they nailed it. They knocked it out of the park with that merchandising.
That's it. They knew that they were going to get everybody's hearts. They're going to tug at everybody's heart when they see that anybody does anything bad to baby Grogu. They knew that it was going to work. So
That's
yes,
right.
100%. All right, you have one last thing for us.
Yeah, so it's really not news so much as kind of talking about some current events. So, my wife is friends with Ray Fisher. I don't know if you know the whole kind of controversy going around with, the Justice League movies and Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg. But it is interesting to just kind of see. There's been a lot more. Hollywood has been a weird place recently, right? Because when we think about us coming up in Hollywood, we think about the big movie studios. We think about, you think about Harvey Weinstein, right? Think about people like that. You think about big movie executives, and it does seem like for years and years, Hollywood has been untouchable, right? The big movie executives, the big movie studios wielded all the power, and that's just the way things went, right? Now, recently, we've been getting, these kind of heart-to-hearts from these actors, and these younger actors, kind of, around my age, who have been coming out against these. First of all, we get the downfall of Harvey Weinstein, right? That's like the first big toppling of this like studio business that is like, this is the way the industry runs. You don't like it, you don't have to work for it, right? So Harvey Weinstein out is a great thing. Then we get a guy like John Boyega who comes in and he's hyped up, and you see, I saw that video of John Boyega when the first Star Wars he was in came out, and he was so excited. And we've talked about this before on the podcast. He was a Star Wars fan. He was stoked to see this trailer. He was stoked to see himself holding that lightsaber. And then as the years went on, you see that honeymoon period end. And recently he's talked about these luxury prisons that big franchises make for actors, right? Clearly not a good large franchise experience. Same thing happens with the actress for Rose Tico. You hear about Daisy Ridley not interested in coming back for Star Wars movies. And then you see all this stuff with Ray Fisher going to bat against Joss Whedon. You hear all these people coming out against Joss Whedon over the years. It does seem like there's some sort of a revolution going on in Hollywood where the studios are wielding a lot less power, And, there's probably people out there who are going to blame it on cancel culture. And the word cancel culture just kind of annoys me. Like,
I agree.
For the longest time, cancel culture was just capitalism, right? Like, if you don't like what someone is saying, you don't buy their product.
Right. Yeah. And you win that way. You just say, I'm not going to buy your, I'm going to drink Pepsi instead of Coke.
And that's how capitalism works. But now it's called cancel culture. Anyway. But it does seem like the public feeling is shifting in a way that studios are going to have to change the way they do things. Now, the whole Ray Fisher thing, that's all still up in the air. We've got the whole Justice League movie coming soon. But I just didn't know what, I just wanted to throw it out there, just for conversation's sake. It does seem like there is a change in Hollywood going on. It doesn't seem like any of that. Again, you think about Ellen DeGeneres. Again, another thing you think about. Ellen had this impeccable image, right? She was the nicest lady in the world.
Everybody loved her. Yeah.
But again, then the veil is pulled back, and we see it's very typical Hollywood. It's very typical, like, elite status. So I'm curious to see where this goes over the next couple of years. I'm saddened by, like, reports from, like, John Boyega when he talks about his experience with Star Wars, because I think he was awesome. I agree with him. I think they really bungled the handling of Finn as a character.
Yeah, 100%. And Rose, while we're talking about Rose, we talked about how they bumbled her character as well. That they really had no vision for what she was supposed to do. So
sure.
Yes.
I'm hoping we see in the next couple of years. Again, you can have your discussions about Gina Carano and her firing. This is, I think that the end of this all is that nothing's black and white, and we need to be able to view things in gray areas. But I'm encouraged by what I see with The Mandalorian. I'm encouraged by what I see with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Mm-hmm. It seemed, and again, even with the firing of Gina Carano, right? It seemed to me like Gina Carano, despite whatever was going on, there was on at least The Mandalorian a congenial set, a congenial atmosphere. So I'm hoping that the mood in Hollywood is changing a little bit. I'm hoping that we're seeing a changing of the guard, and kind of that old school sort of mentality is going away. But again, I am a little bummed out by just some of the casualties of war in it. Again, I would have loved to have seen John Boyega's role in the Star Wars universe expanded.
Sure, yeah.
They built him up to be this main character, and watching him in the second two movies, it's just kind of a bummer. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to, kind of get that out there. It does seem like there's a shift in the attitude. There's a shift in the paradigm out there. Something to keep an eye on for the next couple of years in Hollywood.
There you go. I agree. So keep your eyes, see what happens.
Yes,
see what happens in Hollywood, and see if big Hollywood turns into just very large Hollywood.
Yes,
instead
that's
of big
right.
Hollywood.
That's right. But anyway, we had a good time chatting with y'all. We have a lot of stuff coming out recently, right? We got our Tinfoil Hat series you need to catch on YouTube, right? We have our bracket. Make sure you go to facebook.com/group/sacred Jedi texts, sacred Jedi texts, right?
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, yes. Right? Vote for our bracket for the fan favorite Star Wars character. We've got some great shows coming up too.
We sure do. We're very excited about what the future has for us. I couldn't. Now you got me. You couldn't say text, and then I just couldn't talk at all. So
that's right. And don't worry, Rob. There's only 7 more months until the next episode of The Mandalorian comes out.
There we go. Well, we could even do the Book of Boba if that comes out before the Mandalorian.
Whatever the next Star Wars live action series is, you better believe BanthaMilk podcast is going to be covering it.
We'll be covering it. That's right. We sure will. So there we go. So that's it. That's it for us for this week, for this episode. Look for us on March 20th. On YouTube, we'll be streaming it live again on our channel.
With Johnny Jalopy.
While we interview Johnny Jalopy.
Yes,
very excited about that. Interviewing Johnny Jalopy in a couple of weeks from now. So I'm excited about that. So that's it from here. I got nothing else.
That's it, folks. From all of us here, BanthaMilk headquarters in sunny, beautiful